If you play video games today, what do you mainly play? Many people in my family and coworkers that I've become acquainted with commonly stick with either shooters or action-based games. I'm personally more of a 2D or 3D platforming kind of guy. But one that I see online that gets a lot of praise is the search action genre.
What?
Or, as most call it, the Metroidvania. Now, there's plenty of games of this type to salivate over, but for today, I'm going to be focusing on the first half of that phrase, Metroid! But I should clarify right now that the Metroidvania genre was popularized and molded by two games in particular, Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid. And as much as I would love to talk about that game, I'm still on the NES, so not now, but your time will come, my sweet princes. It's Metroid time! Metroid has been a series that, while not as popular as Mario or Zelda, still gets people's gaming fever hyped up. By the mid-80s, Nintendo started brainstorming new ideas after the success of Mario, and with Zelda being worked on by another Nintendo team, R&D4. Meanwhile, another group of developers named R&D1, led by the future creator of the Game Boy, Gunpei Yokoi, were working on a new game with assistance from Intelligent Systems, and I recommend for the sake of your sanity, don't bring up Intelligent Systems to a Paper Mario fan.
Trust me on this one. You don't want to know. Audrey, don't tell him. You shouldn't have told me, but you did. And now I'm telling you, you don't want to know.
The goal of this game aimed to be different from Mario, both in terms of gameplay and mood. Did it succeed? Well, bring out the old Fammy disk drive and let's see. Now, I've brought up the disk system before. The game was developed for the new add-on for the Famicom called the disk system, which allowed games to be made on floppy disks. It allowed more data to be stored on them, and it was also cheaper to produce than cartridges at the time. God, did I really sound like that? Metroid was one of the hot new games that Nintendo would promote for the system, and it would be released in the Americas a little bit later. In Metroid, you play as the space bounty hunter Samus Aran, a lone wolf man with no name Boba Fett archetype, off to search for bounties to collect. Which is all you're ever going to learn about Samus in the 80s. Yeah, Samus's backstory wouldn't be fleshed out until Zero Mission in 2002, which is where the bird DNA comes in.
What?
But for now, all that's on Samus's mind is to fulfill her mission by locating the evil Mother Brain and the space pirates, Kade and Ridley.
Yo, I really can't stand this motherfucker.
We start off in Brinstar, and immediately things are different. Metroid is
well, can't wait, another side-scrolling platformer on the NES, where, let me guess, you have to go get to the end of a level, and then you fight a big fat boss. You know, Kade, you're just a broken record by saying this. You're not being clever at all.
You fool. If you would have listened to what I've said earlier, you would have heard me say that this game is a non-linear, exploration-based maze runner. So, die, you shoulder salivator!
Die! Why isn't this working?
Because you didn't have these. Where can you find a mammoth, a saber-tooth, and a sloth in the same spot? The Ice Age! Wait, what was I doing? Oh yeah, the game review. Well, time to hit the old reset. Anyway, like I said, we start off on the planet Zebes, ignore that text, trust me, and we begin in Brinstar. Now at this point, it's where I should stop to tell you one thing. If you, yes you, are gonna play this game, play it with a map, because the game doesn't have one. You know, I never thought I'd say this, but Zelda 1's map was better, on the count of that game actually having a map. But with this game, it's like, oh, you want to know where to go so you don't waste precious time, so you still have enough time to relax before you can go back to work at Costco? Well, f*** you. You don't get one. Surprisingly, the maps online show that Planet Zebes is surprisingly not that big the first time I played it. I thought it'd be a whole lot larger, considering that it has a lot of rooms that repeat patterns, and it can be really confusing to find out where to go, and then you just drop it and then go back to playing Smash again because you don't like trying new games. Yeah, I know who you are.
But with a game this big, you better hope there's a lot of enemies and weapons that'll help you out in a pinch. And you'd be right.
Scattered across the map are abilities and weapons that give you the upper hand against the hordes of weird alien creatures. Going down the list, we have the Morph Ball that gives you all the back problems, but hey, at least you can fit in small corridors and openings, missiles that pack a larger punch than your dinky Tic Tac blaster. You can also earn packs that permanently extend your max capacity, very useful for opening red and yellow doors, which eat them up more than Joey Chestnut. Like with the missiles, your health can also be extended with energy tanks that let you hold up to 700 HP, and words of wisdom, keep your health above low unless you want to hear this annoying sound that makes any gamer's ears weep.
Behind the hole. Like, awful.
Wait, I don't want to die. Okay, you hear that?
Yeah.
That stupid ass beeping sound? I hate that. Get over here. Back to more movement upgrades is the high jump boots that let you explore higher places, the screw attack that obliterates any normal enemy. I guess you could say they get screwed. Waka waka. The various suit decreases damage, and get this ASAP by sequence breaking this part. Lastly, for upgrades, we have the beams, as is your Tic Tac blaster is pretty much shit, and I mean just look at that.
You surprise me to how shit you are.
But lucky for you, we can get the long beam, which just increases your blaster's range. I don't know why you need an upgrade when they could have just programmed it like that to work from the first place, but whatever. Then you got the ice beam, which freezes foes fairly fast. Try saying that 10 times fast. It lets you stand on enemies for a little bit, and lastly, there's the wave bit. Don't get it. I mean, just looking at this footage speaks for itself. Don't get the wave beam. I just realized I forgot about the bombs that you can blow up in Morph Ball mode. These things can open up new areas and help you do more sequence breaking, which for the unfamiliar just means doing something out of the intended order, so it just makes you feel smarter than you are.
I'm a fucking genius.
Now that you're assorted with all kinds of who's-its and thingamabobs, we need to make our way to Kade and Ridley's lairs, because in order to access the final area, you have to beat them first. So make your way down to them, and while you do, take in the scenery and sound. You can really tell that Alien was a very clear inspiration for the developers, exploring the vast environments of planet Zebes, all while those enriching tunes fill your ears, is really something.
With a game like this, I highly recommend you take your time when it comes to platforming and exploring, because if you're not careful, there are a lot of places that will mess you up. And being an NES game, an early NES game at that, Metroid's got some jank to it.
Your jump controls are very wonky. You have a jump for when you're stationary and a screw jump that activates when you move, then jump. Trying to do this on small platforms only to fall down a lot sucks more than this. Then there's the enemies. They aren't too hard to take down, but they can really make you spend a lot of time just to beat them. And a good chunk of the time, it just seems like it's luck based on whatever they drop, even though I know it's actually frame based on what determines what they drop.
There is nothing about this I understand.
And when you die, you restart at the section you died in, but your health is at 30? Well, I guess I gotta go farm some stuff. I also forgot mentioning here that the Japanese version of Metroid has a save feature, whereas the American version, they replaced it with this weird-ass password system. So, you know, thanks developers. I don't know why you couldn't have just done that, because with Zelda, which came out literally the same year, shows that cartridges can have batteries in them. I don't know how Samus does this stuff. Dude's back is broken, hand is frozen from all the ice beams, whiplash and vertigo from all the screw attacks, and hearing the most annoying beeping I've heard since the one at McDonald's. Anyway, enough grinding, we've got some bosses to beat. Now, my strategies for the bosses is like this. With Kade, I just tank the hits like the T-1000 because there really isn't any great way to dodge his spines, also while hitting him. Meanwhile with Ridley, I just freeze his fire and lay waste to his little grapes. After making our way back to the entrance of Turian, we're allowed access to the final area, and it's where things get serious. Now the area is really linear, so you won't get lost on your way to the final boss, it's just what's in your way that will mess you up. Two foes in particular are ones you should be concerned about. One is these homing Cheerios. They aren't too hard to freeze with your freeze ray, but the real horror is the Metroids. Yes, the titular aliens themselves. These guys are pretty dangerous if you don't know how to beat them. I'ma just tell you now, freeze 5 missiles. Every Metroid player knows this, and you better remember that for this series going forward. If you do get latched onto one, bomb like crazy to get them off. Save your missiles for the doors though. But after all that, you make it to wait, hold on, you gotta shoot these walls of God knows what. All while avoiding the Cheerios, and this is where they can be really annoying to dodge because there's significantly way less room to move out of the way. But after you get through all that, you finally reach Mother Brain, and she's pretty easy all things considered. It's mainly the turrets and Cheerios that make it hard to hit her while dodging them. And if you fall down here, congratulations, you're screwed. Eventually, after tons of missiles to the old frontal lobe, you win and Mother Brain is gone. But surprise, surprise, the base is gonna explode, so you gotta go on and get out of there. This room in particular is why I say the jumping is pretty wonky, but if you're a pro gamer like me, you'll get out with plenty of time to spare. We then see Samus hearing from Mission Control that she did a great job, well done, but to watch out for the other Metroid, oh god no, and pray for a true peace in space. If you beat the game fast enough, you'll see something surprising. Whoa, dude, it's a male of the Fee variety. Yeah, in modern day, it's pretty commonplace that everyone knows that Samus is a woman, but just try to put yourself in the time period. Women in games by this point were just depicted either in supporting roles or damsels in distress. So to see one actually fighting nasty alien monsters and standing alongside many badass heroes was really awesome to see back then.
So to give Samus the recognition she deserves in this video, I'm going to say something that my sister would probably say if she was playing this game. Yes, Sammy, you go, my metal queen, slay!
Well, time to erase that forever.
Oh my god, what am I doing?